All right, let's get the show on the road and see if I can fix my. I just throated so much glizzies last night, dude. My throat hurts now.
What, we're gonna fucking rise up and kill the rich people?
There are people that, yes, there are people that unironically believe this. Absolutely, yes. You know this, Shil.
Okay, that's a bad thing to you?
Okay, so you're doing it though. You're proving my point.
Okay.
No,
I'm
you're
just
proving
saying-
my point
Okay.
right now because now I thought it was just a meme.
I thought I would just sit through it, but then I decided.
Hello?
Hello, Shu. How are you?
Hi, how are you? How have you been?
I am good. I'm here to be the joke police.
Oh, yes, clearly, yes.
No, but seriously, what have you been up to?
Nothing, just working on my next video. But I was excited for this. I'm not a debater, I'm good at debating, so...
No, I
You're
understand.
really good. By the way, you're really good at debating. I just need to say, like, you've evolved into like a full debate bro. I was watching like your Mike from PA thing and like a whole bunch of other shit. It's pretty
Yeah, well,
good.
Mike from PA
Well,
is
hey, I
dumb
appreciate
fuck, so.
that. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think that this is gonna be like a debate.
Well,
I'm
he
thinking this
did.
is probably gonna be much.
It's
more of a
really easy to
discussion.
get receipts on Mike from PA though.
Unless you
Figured.
know, I gotta. Maybe I have to go full debate bro. Who knows? We'll have to.
Okay,
Just,
yeah, you could try. Yeah, I mean, it's good practice for me because I've only debated Carolyn Borisenko, and that was like a
I remember
fucking
that.
train wreck. Yeah.
Yeah, people are getting mad because you don't have the camera on. But sorry guys, it's just a
No,
call.
I don't
Get
want
over it.
to.
So let me give a quick rundown just for the audience, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So someone tweeted, "Meet the revolutionary technology that could help solve the climate crisis," with a picture of the guillotine. And then I said, "Love it when the left advocates for violence while hiding behind the memes." Sounds really familiar. Obviously talking about the like alt-right comparison there. And then you said, "Dude, we're facing like 10 different crises happening right now. Climate, corona, literally economic inequality is past the Gilded Age, etc. Just let people punch up on Twitter, LOL. Bezos' feelings won't be hurt," which is probably true. I'm sure Bezos' feelings will not be hurt. But yeah, that's kind of just for the audience. Quick rundown of our brief exchange there. So, do you want to start? Elaborate a little bit on your
Like
position.
Magician's Attack. You know, add that to my name.
So my position is basically just like, I think jokes like that should be allowed. Obviously, I don't think you should. I don't think you want to like ban them or anything like that. But
Right. Yeah.
I don't think those jokes are optical poison or anything. I actually think it's quite the opposite. I think jokes like that almost are like uniting in a way. I don't think there are people, unless they're like huge bootlickers, who get offended punching up at the most powerful people in the world like that.
Sure. So okay.
Okay, no, you go.
I'm just gonna say, like, yeah, there's a lot there. Like, first of all, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to do this. Obviously, people can meme and tweet whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, people on this channel
so
know,
that's
of course,
just
like,
the-
I like edgy humor too.
Yeah.
I'm not even. I don't have a problem with edgy jokes in general. It's just jokes like this about like, especially like violent and violent extremism that I kind of take an issue with. So, the punching up thing that seems to be like central to your argument that. You know, it's punching up. And I do agree with you that it is obviously punching up and there's a difference there. But at the same time, I would ask, where's the line there? Because, for example, you're probably fine with people making fun of you on Twitter, but I doubt you would be okay if people were consistently calling for your death on Twitter, but they could argue that you're up.
I understand what you mean.
Like, they could
But-
argue you're a privileged YouTuber, you're able to have a successful career by making videos, you probably make a decent amount of money. What's stopping someone from making jokes about killing you? Because I would find that abhorrent.
Well, they do it, and it's just like, okay, whatever, like, I don't care. But, like, I feel like there's
What if the
there's
joke's
an
turned into,
obvious
like,
line,
actually people wanting
right?
to die?
The line is these people are basically untouchable. They're not like you know how, like, abolish the police was kind of optical poison, right? Because everyone knows a police officer. Like, some police officers are in your family, whatever. Nobody knows a fucking multi-billionaire. These people aren't like us at all. They're not on the same level. Like, me and you, we're like, you know, regular tax-paying people. There's a huge difference between multi-billionaires, people in power, like people in our government and stuff like that, making jokes about that, and making jokes about like any other person. Like if somebody was like, oh, like talking about how they want to kill Steven Crowder, like that looks bad. That looks like we want to kill people who disagree with us.
But that's an arbitrary line that you're setting, more or less, right? Because some people might say that, well, Steven Crowder is pretty wealthy, so he is more powerful. He has a shit ton of influence. He's a multi-millionaire. Why can't I joke about guillotining him?
Okay, I don't know how to...
I mean, if I can go on in the other, because I wrote a couple things down here too.
Okay, but like Steven Crowder isn't like, because we have what, the fucking climate crisis. We have a bunch of CEOs. Like no one knows the ExxonMobil CEO. They're not gonna see that tweet. They're not gonna be offended. Like,
it's not about
I feel
offending.
like...
So I think this is another like extension of the disagreement. Is it's not so much just about who's going to be offended. I don't care who's offended. I don't care if a billionaire sees this and gets offended. I don't give a shit about that. I offend people all day, every day for my job. Like, I don't care if people are offended. I'm more worried about the way that these memes...
Look?
No. I mean, optics, we can talk about that too, but I'm more worried about memes that can lead to normalization of radicalization and violence even. No, not the slippery slope, as
I know what you mean.
We've seen this happen in the past. So, like, the alt-right, for example, that's why I made this comparison. They began as a fringe minority on 4chan, irrelevant, not powerful, no influence, and they were able to push their extremist and violent ideas into the mainstream by using memes. It sounds funny, I know, like, I mean, if we want to talk about optics, this is putting me in a position where I kind of look like the joke police here. So,
I know you're not being the joke police.
I get that, but I also wanted to, lastly, just read you this very briefly. This comes from Security Management, a publication of Advancing Security Worldwide. I can send you this study if you'd like. How memes and internet irony are hijacked for radicalization. And this is talking about the alt-right, but I'd like to just read this to you and just kind of ask you and the audience to think, is it possible that this could apply to these kind of memes as well? It says, the report, which analyzed memes and visual culture on 12 chan sites from March 2020 through June 2020, found that memes are deployed to promote extremist narratives under the guise of pop cultural aesthetics, humor, and irony, thus lowering the barrier for participation. This attracts a younger generation of digital natives who may be initially drawn in by the visual culture and community component of message boards, and then slowly become more tolerant of radical and extreme ideologies. So that would be far more my concern.
That joke in particular that we fought about, it's structured like a TV ad, like it's simple and funny. Here's one simple trick to get rid of it. So the message that joke is sending isn't so much, we gotta kill the people, it's pointing out that the crisis we're in is started by just a few people. Like, that's the joke. The joke is all this would take to end this is just like these people just fucking stop.
I guess that's why it's a joke, because that's also not true at all. Like, like if we were to kill Bezos, that wouldn't do anything to help the climate crisis. Or ExxonMobil people. But also, I kind of take issue a little bit with you adding this like nuance that just doesn't appear to be there. Like, it is about killing people. Like, it's a picture of a guillotine. That's from the French Revolution.
So the meme, the meme is spreading class consciousness. If anything, it's spreading like awareness to people. Like, you know, this is the big issue. It's all these people in charge of the world, of the country.
But
that's
it's not.
The meme.
But see, I guess again, if we want to say that it's a joke because it's just a joke and it's not meant to be thought of seriously, then fine. But like, I would take disagreement with that, because it might be these top CEOs that are playing a huge role in the carbon emissions, sure, but like, they're not just doing that for fun. There's also a demand for it. It's an entire system that's broken, you could argue, and I don't think that just killing billionaires would fix anything. If we were to kill Bezos, someone else would just take the place.
No, I know, I don't think that either, but I'm just saying, like, it's the rhetoric that they're spreading it's not the same as the alt-right thing you're talking about. So, like, with the alt-right, I hate the punching up and punching down, because I'm fine with both kind of jokes, right? So the alt-right will do like racist and sexist jokes and whatever. And that's like an identity thing. That's like, let's say they make a joke about women or something. Like we all do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, they could actually become like misogynist or whatever. What would this joke do? Like just make people hate the most powerful people in charge of our like I don't see
It could do a couple things. It could one, I mean, if we want to get into optics, we can talk about that, but optics is not my main concern here at all.
Okay.
But you could argue that this does ultimately hurt your cause just from an optical perspective. You could also argue that, yeah, they might direct their anger at the wrong people. I don't think we should be raging out at Jeff Bezos. I think you could
This is absolutely the right people we need to be directing our anger to.
Okay, but
like,
then but the last thing I would say also about what the alt-right is, with like punching up, punching down, again, there is a difference there, yes, and I'm not saying that they're exactly identical. However, even if we want to look at it from a historical lens, like the French Revolution, right, that began with quote-unquote punching up. It was the peasants fighting against the monarchs, if I'm not mistaken, but then that led to over 17,000 people being massacred.
Yeah, that literally led to
other peasants that just weren't on board.
Oh wait, there's actually a perfect example. I don't know if you said this because I wasn't really paying attention, but the perfect example is that the queen at the time, the queen or the princess at the time of the French, during the French Revolution, they painted her as being, some snotty, uptight, rich, noble woman. And then it turns out like that's like anything that they ever said about like any of the memes they made during the time were not true at all. She didn't say any of those things. She was actually kind of caring, and there's a quote apparently of her going to the guillotine, whatever. And she's basically like, well, if this is what they want, like, okay, like totally accepting of like what's happening just because she was like relatively a nice person. She just happened to be royalty, right? Maybe he's bringing that up, but that's like true, like. Memes literally got, yes, a noble person, but a noble person killed just because they were noble and because they were capable of painting somebody in a light that just wasn't true. Yes, it got the French Revolution going, and arguably that's very beneficial because it brought along the Enlightenment, or the Enlightenment brought along the French Revolution. I don't know how good or like. Anyways, a lot of social. Or like political things that we have now are because of the French Revolution. A lot of human rights and stuff like that we have was because of the French Revolution. But regardless, right? Basically, memes got this princess killed because, yeah. French Revolution. What was it? Oh yeah, Marie Antoinette. Yeah, she was just like murdered, basically. Fuck. I don't know if it's gonna say anywhere. Marie Antoinette was actually. Nope. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes. As she was getting executed, so they painted her as some evil, vile, sex-filled whore queen that doesn't care about any of the peasants. And as she's getting executed, apparently, maybe this is not true or not, but apparently, as she's walking up to get fucking guillotine, she says, "Sorry, I am sorry, sir. I did not mean to put it there." As she stepped on the executioner's foot. Oh, sorry. I mean, this is a rough translation of what she probably said in French, but. Like, oh fuck. She might have just been a nice person, guys.
This revolutionary mindset. So the idea that it's harmless just because it's punching up, history disagrees with you.
Okay, well, the French Revolution didn't start with memes, but I know what you mean. I just don't see the harm in things like this at all. Like, okay, Trevor Moore, who literally just passed away.
I mean, you're right. Not memes like we have fucking memes today, but not something so dissimilar, I would say.
Away a few weeks ago. One of his greatest sketches is like, I think it's the song's called "It's Time for Guillotines," right?
Mhm.
Like, it's a good sketch and it's a good song, right? Like, are you gonna be like, oh, excuse me, Trevor Moore, this is a little optical, this is bad. Like, these are the most easiest jokes. This is like baby's first political humor, right?
But I would
Kill the
disagree with
rich or
that. But
whatever.
why? That shouldn't be. That I mean, if it you need to explain to me why you think that
Okay.
it's not harmful if we saw the same thing happen with the alt-right. If we are able to see something as harmless, like remember Pepe the Frog? Like all these harmless sort of ideas that like that allowed the alt-right to actually
Or the
sneak
okay
their
sign.
extremist ideology
Are
into
you
the
serious?
mainstream.
You actually believe the Pepe the Frog thing?
No, I'm using that as an example of
Okay.
how they
Well,
were able, like it's a known fact on how the alt-right was able to use meme
because they
culture
were
for
funny.
their benefit.
So how about we be funny?
So maybe
Why
we
is
should
it...
be funny for the right
Oh, guys,
reasons,
no,
because
guys,
Yeah, you're right. They were funny. The same way fucking chopping people's heads off is funny. And then chopping people's heads off becomes fucking real. That's the problem. Is that, yeah, the alt-right jokes were funny. That's the problem, Shoe. Yeah, they were funny. That's the issue. Is that they were so fucking funny that they normalized the behavior, and then the behavior was allowed to change, and then that behavior was normalized, and now suddenly we have fucking racists just trolling around on the internet, you know? Like, fuck. I don't know.
guys,
But
no
don't you realize
edgy
that
jokes allowed on the left, guys.
that's not what I'm
About
saying.
jokes. I
That
know,
is
but I'm just like, what do you want? Like, I don't understand.
I'm trying to explain why this leads to how this can lead to harm. The thing that this could
Okay.
ultimately lead to could be someone taking out actual violent action against, I don't know, a wealthy person. Maybe they're thinking it's punching up. Like, I don't know.
I
Like,
mean, you'll
how
vandalize
would
their
you
house.
You're
feel if
literally
something
doing
happened
the
here?
slippery. Okay, you're literally doing the slippery soap can't make edgy memes. Like, what is your argument? Like,
No,
I'm
no.
actually not understanding.
Okay, my argument is there are certain memes, right? Certain
That can
forms of
lead to
media,
bad
even you could
things.
argue, that can lead to the normalization of harmful and extremist ideas. For example, there's a real.
Street.
Hold on,
Okay.
can I explain? There's a really
Yes.
interesting study where they took women and they showed these women movies about a stalker boyfriend, and then they were found that after women viewed that content, they were more likely to accept stalker behavior in their real life. Media
Mhm.
can normalize certain ideas even on a subconscious level. This is a fact. No, like this is inarguable. So all I'm saying is when you are making memes like this over and over again, you're softening people to radical, extremist, and violent ideas
I
that
don't think I had any
wouldn't
trades
fix
going
our
on.
problems.
Oh, no, I did. No, I didn't.
And also, you're providing a safe space, more or less, for tankies and other radicals.
Well, I don't have a problem with people hating the most powerful people in the world and the country. So if that's the slippery
They can
slope
hate those
radical
people,
thing,
but I'm talking about the way that this can normalize extremist beliefs, violent beliefs that wouldn't go to solve our problems.
what did you think about the jokes of Jeff the rocket exploding and everyone like making jokes about that and wanting that to happen? Is that the same as the...
Well, that one's different. Okay, my assumption would be that that's a little bit different just because it's like a freak accident. Now, is wishing people harm, like the act of wishing people harm is a little bit, I don't like the wishing people harm. Like, oh please, rocket explode. Oh please, have it. It's just a little weird, but it's not as direct as, oh, can we? Let's. What if I just dropped this guillotine on Jeff Bezos' neck? Like, it's just there's a slight disconnect. It's still, I still don't like the jokes of like just calling for people's death, but
guillotine?
I mean, I'm not a fan of advocating for violence. I think that ultimately it just hurts your cause.
Okay, like I don't know. I feel like these are just very level 1 jokes. These people are untouchable. It's just such an easy thing. You can't get any more punching up than this. And left wingers aren't the only one making this. Like,
oh, apparently OnlyFans is not banning porn anymore. Congratulations, OnlyFans. You saved yourself, I think.
These are such. This is such a.
Do you think there are any
uniting
people that
trope.
look at this and actually think that they should kill rich people or Bezos?
I'm sure there are people that do that. For the
So
most
would
part,
that be a
people just
problem?
coping.
Would that be a problem in your mind?
If people want to Roblox Bezos, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. But like, listen.
Because I mean,
so,
there are other creators, like even the Amazing Atheist was commenting on my thing, saying unironically that they have to pretend they're joking about this stuff, otherwise they'll get banned for violating TOS. I have a screenshot right here.
Okay.
So there are people that don't just look at this as a meme LOL. There are people that look at this and it's playing a role in normalizing this idea that we should actually go out and murder rich people.
Do you think that we have the ability to do that? Do you think we have the ability to
What do you mean?
rise up and multi-billionaires take them out?
It doesn't have to be multi-billionaires. You said it yourself that it's a class struggle. It could simply just be someone who's more well off.
Yep.
It normalizes violent extremism at the end of the day. And also it's just that, like, I walked away from the far right, and I don't like seeing the left engage in the same kind of bullshit. There are better ways that you can advocate for your cause.
At all, but
well, it doesn't really matter though, because you said you're fine with either.
Yeah.
So could you see how like Holocaust denialism jokes could lead to the normalization of like the idea that maybe the Holocaust was a hoax?
Sure.
So what, like,
but
why
this joke, the guillotine joke, is more on the level of the joke where it's like, come and take it with the gun, because it's against, the government, it's against the people in charge or whatever. The fucking Holocaust, what is that? That's like making fun of victims, survivors. That's such a different thing. Like,
it can be different, but if one is worse than the other doesn't mean the other one is therefore good. Like, it doesn't work like that. One could be worse, but I mean, at the end of the day, the thing is you're taking the position that all of those jokes are completely fine.
Yeah, like every joke is fine. People can joke about whatever they want, as long as it's like clever and they're not just like shouting the N-word over and over, and then it's just edgy for the sake of being edgy. But you can, like, Nick Fuentes, his joke about the 6 million cookies or whatever, like, he got banned.
That's not a joke. It's literally him denying the Holocaust and using code words to hide it.
And for that or something, like, that's like,
I mean,
awful, but it's still a joke.
No, but see, that right there, like, Nick Fuentes himself has already admitted publicly that you have to hide behind irony.
Yeah.
Like, so you're giving arguments though that are like defeating your own point. You're giving me You're giving me arguments of people that are actually giving
different things. There's such different things.
No, you're giving me examples of people actually pushing forward radical ideas under the guise of it's just a meme, it's just a joke, bro.
Okay, but what is wrong with I don't understand what is wrong about, like, joking about killing the most powerful people in the country. I
told you why. Because it can normalize violent extremism, and also, like,
towards people who aren't the most powerful people in the country. Like,
it doesn't.
That's what
would you be like? Yeah. So what if they're more powerful? Again, we want to look at the French Revolution and how that began. That began with punching up, and it eventually led to so much, like 17,000 people getting killed.
The people want to punch. They're either going to punch down or they're going to punch up. So I'd rather them punch up. That's. Like,
I disagree with that. I think I have more faith in people than that.
What can we do? Like, everyone just wants to cope. Everyone's depressed.
Okay, you have the doomer mindset where okay, so there's the doomer mindset, which is let's just joke about killing rich people and that does nothing at all. Or we can actually talk about real policy positions. Like, I know that
we can do both.
I think that you can make jokes about it, sure, but I don't think making jokes about killing people is necessary. And then if we want to talk about optics, there is a level of optics there that I think is important too, because climate change is such a big and serious issue. It demands unity. It demands that we are all working together here. And
could not think of a more uniting thing than joking about
Do
people.
you think that maybe moderates would be uncomfortable? Do you think people that aren't terminally online might be a little uncomfortable with jokes about guillotining the rich and guillotining Bezos?
'Cause
Send them to the gulags? Like, you don't think that might, like, push people away?
Then who cares? Okay, I have a lot of right wingers in my audience, and I talked to them about this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, that's fine. You could joke about like killing the rich, like eat the rich, whatever. It's fine. Like everyone, like most people, are fine with this level of bunching up because
It's
it's
fine.
like
Most
it's
people
almost
aren't
it's just
consistent, so I don't care if most people are fine with it. What comes down to is if you're on the left, do not become a different version of a human from people on the right. This worked on the alt-right. It worked before in pushing forward extremist ideas into the mainstream under the guise of irony and humor, and gives people this
but
plausible
the right
deniability.
but the right's extremism is like this is a straw man obviously, but like kill black people or whatever. And the left's extremism is kill the most powerful fucking people in
I'm not
charge of
saying
the
they're
country.
identical. I'm not saying they're
But then
identical.
why are you worried about left extremism? You know what I mean?
Because we don't want a world where we're just fucking. We don't want. For all the good that the French Revolution brought us, it took way too much fucking time, and we had to murder so many fucking people that probably didn't need to get murdered. Right, like, oh yeah, cool, we got all this stuff. Oh, we also had to just fucking chop off the heads of. Oh, and also, it got so like infectious and internally consuming that the French went back to a monarchy like 3 fucking times. They had like 3 different revolutions.
Like
Wait, you said it yourself. I can be worried about both. Okay.
okay.
And also, when you use memes like this, you're providing a safe space for other radicals. You're providing a safe space for tankies. Like, if you think about it, I mean, I look at myself as an example of this. I had a like right-wing channel. I was never alt-right. I was never a fucking neo-Nazi. But I think that alt-righters and neo-Nazis felt really comfortable in my audience. And I don't want to cultivate an audience like that. I don't think that I don't want authoritarianism. I don't want extremism cultivated in
I don't think
audiences
this is
like this.
extremism though. This is like again, this is basic humor. Like this is like I don't know what else to compare it to. Again, it's almost like the come and take it jokes. Like it's just a level of punching up that doesn't have really a comparison with the right.
I just don't know if you can really appeal to that comparison when you're okay with either, so it doesn't really matter in your mind.
Because I'm just okay with jokes in general. I'm fine with them.
Okay, I mean, that just is ignoring the reality and the way that media
okay, but what's
can
your
normalize.
Conclusion, though? What's the conclusion to this?
My conclusion is let's take a break from making jokes about murdering people and then giving ourselves this plausible deniability and saying, "Oh, it's just a joke, bruh." And instead actually yeah.
We're at like the peak of like just this empire crumbling, right? This is like Rome is about to fall. I think people can joke about this shit, like especially right now. My audience of again with right wingers and left wingers uniting with like Jeff Bezos. Oh, I hope his rocket explodes is fucking hilarious, and I'm fine with it, and I think that.
I don't know. You can just if you're uniting on certain guises, I think that could be in really dangerous territory. You could argue that you could unite with the far right on certain aspects. You want to no? If you want to talk about killing the rich people,
wait. No. It doesn't have to be punching down. You can just say, "Oh, well, I want to kill rich black people only." Actually, it doesn't even have to be that. If white people just became more racist towards Asian people, then technically, based on studies, they'd be almost punching up because I think Asian Americans and stuff yet have, on average, like more income and blah 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 than American-born white families. So that would be a form of punching up, a very small punch up, but still punching up.
The right believes that well, not the right. Sorry, let me clarify. The alt-right, the far-right neo-Nazis. They tend to believe that the very rich are Jewish people. You might be able to find an agreement right there. Just if there's an agreement doesn't mean that it's a good thing. I just think that we should, for me, it's you got to understand too, my goal at the end of the day is to pull people away from extremism. I don't want people to be extreme left or extreme right. I want people to be rational centrists, enlightened centrists, that's right. And I think that just using jokes like this and humor like this, not only does it push people away, it's just kind of unfortunate because it seems
I
really
wanna play.
inconsistent. We like the right talks so much about the way that
I
the
don't wanna do
alt-right was
fucking
using memes and everything else.
Madden right now.
And then
'cause
now they're doing the
my
exact same
phrase
thing.
is fucked.
Well, I like using edgy.
I can't trade any of my players because I'm
they're
over the cap.
I like
fun
using edgy and
and-
funny memes too, but we're not talking about just edgy and funny memes. We're talking about edgy and funny memes that are specifically violent in nature and normalize and soften the idea of violence towards individuals.
Okay, I don't honestly don't know how to argue this. It's just like I'm fine with these jokes, and I think if anything, they're more like
Why would
you say you
Why would I
want people to
preload a
unite
game that's
because
coming out fucking November?
of this, but I think it's fucking cool and
I
based
didn't
if
say
we
that either.
all-
It's fine if
if
people
we all hate the same people. I don't know.
So basically, like, I have some studies here and some pretty solid historical and empirical evidence to support my claim, but I feel like your claim is just you like memes and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else could you say though? Like, again, this is
You
baby's
could take the
first joke.
Okay.
Who cares?
All right.
I don't. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say though. It's like again, people just want to punch up. Like we punch down in our careers, right? We still sometimes punch down when we make fun of like random Twitter people.
I'm
and
not
stuff.
talking about I'm not talking about just punching up and
Oh,
punching down. I'm
I'm
talking
just-
about violence specifically.
Yeah.
Memes that are again
What can I do with Spider again?
normalize violent ideology.
Like, I don't know-
Radical
I do not know how to
ideology.
play Spider.
Though.
Why? If it was able
What
to
am I
work
allowed
with
to
the
move?
alt-right,
Oh,
why
okay,
couldn't
so-
it work in this area also?
What we're gonna fucking rise up and kill the rich people?
There are people that there are people that unironically believe this. Absolutely, yes, you know this, Shil.
Oh, that's right. It's all black cards.
That's a bad thing to you?
Okay, so you're doing it though. You just you're proving my point.
Okay.
No,
I'm
you're
just
proving
saying-
my point right now because now I thought it was just a meme.
It is a meme. However,
However, you're actually kind of
it
okay
would
with it.
be pretty
You've memed
cool.
yourself into the radical
If-
position,
if we-
Shil.
I'm just saying, if we all took a guillotine all together, the left and right held hands, and wheeled a guillotine to Jeff Bezos' mansion, I'm just saying it would be kind of cool. He doesn't even have to come out of the mansion. I'm just saying.
Oh, and I
it
can
would be
move
a good,
any
some good
cards to
symbolism.
open slots. I
That's
should have
all
moved the
I'm
king.
saying.
All right.
No, okay, I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't.
Oh, but I
think
have
there's
to solve
anything
it in the
wrong
thing,
with
don't I? Oh,
Joking
shit.
about these things, and I don't know how to argue because, like, it's just, I don't know. We're at the tippy top
Yeah,
of. It's coming to a peak, and I feel, and we're.
And
this
you think
climate
that
crisis,
maybe
these people
guillotining them
are
is
villains.
what's necessary.
These people are villains. They're destroying our country. They're destroying.
Why do you think
the
they're
world.
destroying the country? Do you think that there's a demand for that? For some of the goods that they're providing, that on the way of providing those goods, they're also destroying the world?
Oh, every time you complete a
Like
row, it automatically
plastics
goes away.
and
Oh,
stuff?
thank God.
Like, do you believe... I'm getting at something deeper here, which is like
Mhm.
a broken
Cars.
system,
Yes.
system where maybe the individuals aren't necessarily who you should be mad at, but rather the system. Don't we have this conversation about police?
Yes. So capitalism.
I'm not
Is that what you're getting at?
No, I'm
What
yeah. Oh,
system
yeah,
are
yeah,
you
yeah,
talking
yeah. If you, yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you wanna like be upset about something, then why not rage against the system and not like actually the individuals? Like you could argue that they themselves are products of that system.
Okay. I don't know how to argue against this. So just okay, it's an anti-capitalist meme though. That's what this is. It is criticizing the system.
It's not though.
Is it not?
Because no.
Okay.
Because the way in the way that it's criticizing the system, it's let's kill rich people.
Let's just
which
murder
I
everyone,
I
yeah.
disagree with that. I think that we've seen this happen with the alt-right, and I think that we should. I see that I'm against my audience in this one too. My audience doesn't agree with this
Okay. the
either.
right-
But you know what? I take consistency really seriously, and this is a like major inconsistency that I'm seeing on the left.
Mhm.
But either way, if you want to go ahead and give a if you want to go ahead and give like a closing
Oh,
statement.
Fuck. Oh no, we're good.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it makes me
Fuck.
sound edgy and radical or whatever.
Oh,
but
that's right. I have
I'm on
cards
the
I could
opinion of
splatter
the people in charge
splatter
of this
in there.
country should fear the people.
How about that?
I think that's a good thing. I think
That's a
This.
okay.
the government should fear the people,
This.
and the people in power should fear the people.
I would agree with
people,
you
not the
completely. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that needs to be
And-
done by memeing about murdering people.
Okay.
I mean, you can make the
Okay.
same argument with about the president, even if you wanted.
Okay.
The fuck is move
Yeah,
this?
like, I don't know. I just think that it is sort of joke policing. It's you're worried about optics because I know that you come from the right and you've seen.
I'm not worried about optics. I've barely made an
Okay.
optics argument this entire time. I think there's an argument to be made on the basis of optics, but I don't think that's the strongest
true.
argument here. I
Oh,
think
my
the strongest
Lanta.
argument is ultimately
Fuck.
the same way that the alt-right was able to hijack internet irony and memes in order to radicalize people and push extremist ideologies. I see
Shit.
no reason why people on the left are somehow above this. I think that they're just as susceptible, and I think we should be
Okay.
honest
the
with
far
ourselves
right-
and
if the
consistent. But
If the far right got into power because of their edgy memes, what is
I'm
the
in a
worst
stack
that
in a
would
stack.
happen? A lot, right?
that's not even that. Like, we could talk about
Like, a
that.
lot. Okay.
Sure,
But
we
then
can
if
talk
the
about
far
that. But
left got into power, what would happen?
I don't know. Who knows? If we see from
Okay.
history, they might try to establish communism, and then that would
That's
probably
true.
fail. Who fucking knows? I don't. All right. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Shio.
I don't know. No problem. This was fun. I liked fighting a little bit, but
All right.
I appreciate your content. It's better than it's ever been ever, and anyone who says otherwise is lying.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
okay,
And yeah,
bye.
keep up the good video essays. See you later.
Bye.
I wish I'd brought this up because I see a lot of people in chat that disagree with me saying, like, we gotta punch up, lol, all that kind of shit. But I wanted to talk about this too. This is a really interesting study that goes over how humor can be useful in resistance to a form of oppression. However, it's useful specifically in non-violent resistance to oppression. I saw somebody in chat a second ago say, yeah, we're just gonna have a peaceful revolution, lol. No, you fucking LARPer. There is no revolution that's going to happen. That's the LARP right there. So just to be crystal clear, I don't have a problem with edgy memes. I don't have a problem with people punching
why
up.
didn't you-
I don't have a problem with people joking about Jeff Bezos or rich people or anything else, okay?
Oh,
I
my
make jokes
Lanta.
about rich people and Jeff Bezos too. I do have a problem memeing.
Wait, why did
let's
you
be
suggest-
honest, for fucking half these people, it's not really a meme. Memeing about killing Jeff Bezos. In my mind, this would be similar to joking about going out and killing cops. Well, I just have a problem with the system of policing. Well, then why don't you talk about that? Not talk about going and murdering individual cops. It doesn't make sense. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when I drop a new video.
Okay. That was somewhat boring. Because nothing really happened, but it's true. Like, just don't like. I don't really feel like living in a world where we have to draw this arbitrary line on what is punching up, and then we just start murdering people, potentially based on what inevitably becomes like we could draw the line. We could draw the line like, oh, you know, like right now it seems like it's hard to draw the line, right? Where you're like, okay, well, is Hassan, like, are we punching up if I'm making fun of Hassan? Like, well, I don't know, you know, Hassan, like, has a lot of money and stuff like that, but is he really, like, rich? But he's one of the good guys, right? Like, so am I really punching up? Like, I don't know, man. What am I doing? Like, oh, man, like, yeah, it's like, oh, he's got a big house and a lot of money, but he's one of us, so, like, is it okay if I make fun of him for being rich? No, it can't be okay to make fun of him because he's rich, because, like, he's one of us, right? Like, man, I don't know, man. Like, you know, like, that's, like, happening right the fuck now. So, I don't want to kind of live in a world where suddenly the hammer drops, and it's just kind of a roll on the dice on, okay, well, today, people who are punching up is anyone making over $10 million. They're all getting fucking killed now. Because memes went on long enough, and suddenly something happened, something extreme happened, where, you know, whatever, $10 million a millionaire, you know, his business caused a huge problem somewhere, and now now they're dead. And now we're calling for the death of all 10 tens of millions of nairs, whatever the fuck. I don't know what you would call a 10 of millionaire. Tens of millions? Tens of millions nair? I don't know. Fuck you. Yeah, like, I don't feel like living in that world where it's just kind of like memes, bunch of dead people. Like, whoa, what the fuck? And then you also get to talk about what is punching up. Okay, so people on the alt right will argue that any Jewish person is punching up. So, I should be allowed to make memes about Jewish people just because I view any Jewish person as a person above me that I need to take down. Like, okay. And then at the same time, yeah, or like I said before, with Asians, like Asian Americans, you can easily say like, oh, well, I'm just punching up. They have higher like SAT scores than the average white person, so I'm just punching up if I want them to just be, kicked. All this coronavirus stuff is just me punching up, bro. It doesn't really matter, bro. They're well off. They'll be fine from the coronavirus. I'm just punching up, bro. All I'm doing is punching up. Doesn't matter, bro. I'm just bro. I'm just broing, bro. Bro, I'm just giving you a nice bro job, bro. Just let me bro. Why is this? What? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. I need an 8. Yeah, bro, I'm just giving my dude's bro job, bro. Oh, I gotta get rid of this 4. Gone. Yeah, bro, just broing. It's just bros being bros and dudes being bro dudes. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like living in that society where, we're allowed. They're just jokes, guys. Nothing really will happen. If it does, then we can deal with it. Then it's like, okay, well, what the fuck? What happens when we deal with it then? What happens if the dice accidentally rolls on you, and you're getting murdered for no fucking reason, just because it's been decided that you were punching up? Right, that's basically what happened to Marie Antoinette. She was just the unlucky queen, who wasn't actually a bad person. Maybe, who knows, right? Maybe I'm spreading conspiracy about fucking the goddamn French Revolution. But, right, based on that quote alone, maybe wasn't actually like a somewhat nice person, and was just the unlucky monarch at the time when the French Revolution kicked off. Right? Like, if it was anyone else, if it was what the fuck's his name? Whatever king was just partying, whatever kings before her, or queens that were just partying and doing nothing, they probably deserved more or less to die, potentially, right? If we're saying anyone should deserve to die. But she was just unlucky and got fucked because of it, right? She's dead now and murdered. And now, hey, for the cause, we got the French Revolution. You got a broad just stuff. But do I really want to live in a world where, a bunch of quote unquote good stuff comes like super far after a bunch of bad stuff, like really fucking bad stuff happened? I don't know. I don't know if that's the world I kind of want to live in, where bad thing leads to we we kind of, after doing all the bad things, we happened upon the good thing. Yeah, we'll call that a win. Well, did you really call that one a win? I don't know. Yeah, really marking that one up to a win there. Oops. Yeah. Other than, I don't know what else to say other than, I just don't feel like living in that world. And then there's a bunch of studies and stuff that could show that it leads to that world. And then I guess, if you're okay with that world potentially coming, or if you don't agree, I guess Shue's point is that she doesn't agree that world will ever come. So, yeah, I don't know what you can't really argue against that. You kind of just go okay, I don't know what to tell you other than, this could be the world that comes to this, because we've seen it before. Yeah, sure, the French Revolution wasn't started on, the memes we know today, but French Revolution started on, similar axioms, or whatever you might want to call it. They did it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of dumb. But I guess, yeah, we know that literally I thought maybe that she was kind of just aware. No, but literally, it turns out that yes, prominent people, she the queen of them, unironically just think that this stuff is that memeing about stuff is fine because it's just for the memes, bro. And yeah, like I don't know.